Love. What is love? What is it, actually? I have walked this earth for 45 years thinking I knew what love was, believing I have felt it and experienced it at times, and even thought I knew how to give it and show it and express it to others. I couldn't have been more wrong. I bet most of you out there believe you know what love is and how to show it too. We were wrong. We were all wrong. If we actually knew what love is, true love in its purest, unaltered form, what it truly is, the world, our personal lives would look much, much different. The best definition I could find to describe love is that love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or respectful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with truth. Well, that's nice. And yes, it is all true. But this definition of love mostly tells me what love is not. I want to know what love is. Today I found it. And it is not what we think or what we have been told or made to believe. I not only found out what love, the truth of what it is, but it has forever changed my life and showed me the greatest mystery that I could have ever uncovered. Follow along with me. Take your time, open your heart and your mind. I'm going to introduce you to someone at the end. You see, we have always used the word love to describe how we feel about someone or something, an emotion to something we are experiencing in any given moment, to a state of mind and experience, something attached to our five senses, something we are looking at, touching, tasting, smelling, and hearing. So then our feelings kick in, and each of us individually have a personal reaction to whatever it is we are experiencing at that moment. A feeling, a reaction, or an expression to something that came from outside of us, something we experience from our five senses, something we see, taste, touch, smell, and hear. So then that what we have reacted to from the outside now created a feeling on the inside. It made us feel a certain way from within. Let me give you some examples so you can better understand. Have you ever looked at something like a house, a car, jewelry, clothes, shoes, a picture, furniture, or even a person, and something about that person, you loved what you were looking at? You were so attracted to it for whatever reason. So you say things like, ooh, I love that house, that car. Oh my, I love that outfit. I love those shoes and that jewelry. Wow, that person is so beautiful and attractive. I'm in love. We say, we say to our brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, I love you. Our friends, people close to us, I love you. Or eat something, taste something, and say, oh my God, I love that so much. It tastes so good. Ever smell a fragrance, a perfume, or a smell that is appealing? Maybe reminds you of something, and you say, oh my God, I love that smell. Have you ever touched something, maybe like a very soft blanket or a towel, a fabric so soft? Maybe a bunny rabbit, a puppy whose fur was so different. Maybe you had a shampoo you love that makes your hair feel so soft, or a person, an intimate exchange of kissing and touching, and, well, you get the point. and you say to yourself, oh my God, that feels so good. How about a song you hear? You love it so much you play it over and over again. Or elegant, beautiful words that someone speaks. Maybe at a time you were looking to hear something that made you feel better or feel something, and you say, oh, I love what you had to say, the way you speak, the way you make me feel. I love that song. Oh my God, I love it so much. Pay attention to those examples we will come back to them later. They're important. So we take all these things that we hear, taste, touch, and smell, and we start interacting with them. We love them so much, we make them part of our lives. We take them home, we make them our home. We hang it on our walls and our shelves. We add them to our diets and our meals. We bring home that blanket or towel, the bunny or puppy, and we listen to them over and over again, all till everything becomes such a part of you. It actually becomes you. It becomes your taste, what food you like. It becomes your wife or your husband, boyfriend or girlfriend, your pet, your outfit. It becomes your style, your personality, who and what you are. It defines you in such a way. All of that takes time, takes money, takes work, effort, planning, thinking, and the energy to obtain to make it now part of you. Now all those things that has become you, that now defines you, things you loved and gathered from outside of you, gives the rest of the world a picture of you. It lets them know a lot about you by what they're looking at when they see you. So the world, the people you're around, friends, family, co-workers, make an assumption of who you are based on your appearance, your style, your taste. Make a judgment by what is being presented to them and define you by it into groups and categories. Think about that. All the things you gathered from the world, everything you have experienced and had a love for, an attachment to, has not only become you, but also the presentation of you. The very words you speak and the beliefs you have become who and what you are. The way you view yourself and the way others view you. So over time, you embrace that and believe that is who you are. Let me ask you, do things, people, the things you love, that you gathered up, if presented to me as a stranger, could I say I know you? I mean really know you. It may tell me some things about you, and I might even assume or make a judgment about what I see from the outside. But does that truly mean I know you? Who you are from the inside? That I can define you or label you or title you and group you into a certain category and believe that to be who you truly are? No, it doesn't. And isn't that what we all do? Meaning to or not, consciously or unconsciously, isn't that the problem with the world that it has? We judge the appearance, the presentation, what we see from the outside. Okay, now I'm going to need you to focus. Buckle up and pay close attention. It is going to get deep and could get confusing if you are not fully invested here. This is going to take a turn and take you to a place you were not expecting. It will be worth your time and very beautiful, life-changing, if you can accept it and understand it. I'm going to break it down for you now. In Latin, love is amor, made up of the prefix a and the Latin word mors. It means death. Death. Amor, love, in Latin means death. Hold on to that. You'll need it in just a bit. The word existence in Latin means appearing, emerging, leaving, being, and what is outside. Hold on to this one too. You're going to need it. Now I'm going to go into the Bible. I know it is not for everyone, and that's okay. I'll tell you why. And I'm going to unlock part of the mystery by doing it. No matter what your faith is, your religion, your belief, no matter what book you hold in your hand, no matter what title or name or definition you want to give your God, and assume who and what he is based on the presentation you were presented with since birth. Excuse me, like me. I was born in Western society, and the Bible was presented to me, so I relate to it and use it more. No matter where you're from, and I have studied most of them, well, the major ones anyway. If you do not look at that book you hold as spiritual, and you're looking at it as a literal something that you can relate to with your five senses, and you understand it and you don't understand it as a spiritual message, an allegory, a parable, something hidden, a mystery, not the way it was taught to you, but read it as spirit, then no matter what book you hold, the same hidden message in spiritual form is in every single one of them. Every character, every name, every place, everything in that book you hold has a hidden meaning, a hidden message. Every word, every number, so deep you'll never reach the bottom of it all. Most of you have never took the time to look at any other because it was presented to you that you hold the truth, the one and only, and all others are false. I was told, if you only read one book, you haven't read anything at all. So the world as it does, depending on their surroundings, where they were born and what was presented to them, and whatever part of the world, whatever society, whatever became more appealing and attractive to them, they adopted and made it part of them to define who they are. So because none ever take the time to truly study, truly sit and get to know what is in those other books or faiths or religions, they only judge what they can see from the outside, what they've been told, labeling, assuming, putting into categories, entitling, never looking, never searching, never asking, so they never received. They define their very existence on the book they hold, never understanding it in its true form, never reading it the way it was meant to be read. So they never understood the way it was meant to be understood. They held on to the literal everything their five senses told them, everything they have always related to outside of them. This caused much division, hate, war, and arguments. Arguments even between those that hold the same book. pure confusion. John 6:63. It is the Spirit who gives life. The flesh profits nothing. Flesh, that's your five senses. The words that I speak to you are spirit, and they are life. His words are what? Spirit. To understand what is being said, it cannot be understood in a literal sense. It will not allow you to see or understand what is actually being said. Spirit is not flesh and cannot be understood with your five senses. Matthew 13:13. This is why I spoke to them in parables. A parable is an allegory, a story with a hidden unspoken meaning or message, a mystery hidden inside the story. Though seeing, they do not see. Though hearing, they do not hear or understand. There's two of those five senses we've been discussing, hearing and seeing. Hearing and seeing with the five senses, and hearing and seeing in the spiritual is two different things. Matthew 13:34-35. I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter what has been hidden since the foundation of the world. Nothing in that book should be read in a literal sense. If you do this, this is what he said to you, the ones that read by spiritual understanding. It has been granted to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. But to those people, the literal takers, it hasn't been granted. He spoke nothing that was not in parable, spiritual, allegory form, nothing. The complete book, the Word of God, as they say, word is something you say, you speak. So God's Word is spirit. Yes, the whole thing, from front to back. Once you accept that, there is a hidden message, a hidden meaning or mystery within the stories. Yes, all the stories. No matter your faith, your religion, or what book you hold, that you were presented with, or you were attracted to, it is the same in every single last one of them that have ever existed from the beginning of time. You see, I'm white, born and raised into Western society. I have grown up with my own certain customs and cultures. Now, if I were to go to China, I would not be able to relate to their customs and cultures. It would be very different for me, or very unnatural. I wouldn't understand the meanings and purposes of why they do the things they do in their societies. I couldn't relate, not at all. Therefore, every religion or faith, depending on where in the world they are from, the book they hold and the stories in them, and all the characters in them, relate to them, their customs, and their cultures, relatable by everything around them they have always been presented with. Even in the Christian Bible, there are stories that only a Jew would understand what is actually being said. They will know it because it is part of their culture, their history, what they have been presented with since birth. Yet the man born in America, although holding the same book, would not understand the true meaning of it in its entirety. Different characters, different names, different stories, all with the same spiritual hidden message and meaning. Okay, so I hope you're still with me. I had to go through all that to show you something, so you can have a clearer understanding of what I'm saying. So let's dig in. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment, and the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these two commandments. Wow. Have you actually thought about that? Do you do it? Do you obey the two greatest commandments of all time, so great that everything hangs on them? I guess the bigger question is, do you even know how? Love. What is love? If you do not know what love is, I mean the true understanding of what love is, then the answer is no. What about God? Ask yourself, do you know God? I mean truly know. Not who, but what He is. Or do you only know what you have been presented with by others that have painted a little picture in your mind? A lot of you probably even think you have His picture hanging on your wall somewhere. Love. What is it? It is truth. Truth in its purest, perfect, unaltered form. And truth is love. Love in its purest, unaltered form. They are one and the same. They cannot be separated. Where one exists, the other does. Also, they are the same exact thing. Love is truth, and truth is love. In order to love, you must have truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God. Truth in its purest form is love. Love is not an emotion or as a result a feeling. It is not a word used to describe something or a reaction to something that you like or have an attraction to that comes from those five senses we talked about. It is not a person, place, or thing. It is a spirit, a consciousness, a being, a state of existence. Remember, I told you what existence was? A being, appearing, emerging, having something outside. Truth in its purest form is the only way you can ever experience love. There is no other way. Truth is love, and love is truth. One cannot exist without the other. They are the same. So in order to understand love, we must first understand truth. Truth is the opposite of a lie, something manipulated, made up, something we are made to believe that isn't true, something we have been presented with and told and taught that isn't true, something we judged or assumed, labeled, entitled, never truly knowing what it was inside. Assumptions we have made ourselves to believe. Our five senses, our flesh, is so easily persuaded, deceived, and fooled. We only go off the literal, what we experience. Everything we have picked up along the way, all the things we love that we put our time, money, and energy, our hearts and souls into, that now define us, who we have become. But that is not who we are, not us in our true, purest form. We throw the words love and truth around like pieces of trash. We use these words to manipulate, to deceive, to give an appearance, an expression, to please and entertain ours as well as others' emotions, our five senses. We use the words love and truth in vain. Yes, vain. Remember that. We no longer walk with the truth and love in our hearts. We have been made to believe we are something or someone we are not. A lie. A lie to ourselves and those we present ourselves to. A presentation made up of material things outside ourselves to define ourselves. All the lies we have been told and taught from the very beginning. Everything that came from outside your being, existence, remember? Okay, I'm going to stop speaking in parables now and make all this very clear for those of you that yet so far in all that I have said have not figured it out. I laid clues all along the way. Love is truth, and truth is love. They are the same. They cannot be altered or changed. You cannot have one without the other. Truth is the only way you will ever experience love. A spirit, a being, a consciousness, a state of existence. So from here on out, you're going to have to come with me now in spirit. You're going to have eyes to see. You're going to have spiritual ears to hear. John 14:6, Jesus answered, I am the way and the truth and the life. The way and the what? The truth. No one comes to the Father except through me. How do we get to the Father? Through Him. And what did He just tell you He was? Get that literal out of your head now. Knock it off. His word is spirit. Every word He spoke was spirit. Christ is truth. The only way is by Him, which in spiritual, allegorically speaking, is the truth. You ever wonder exactly what you were being saved from? The lies. The opposite of truth. The opposite of Christ. The true light. The lies we believe is the false light. The devil is the father of all lies. 1 John 4:8. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love. Love is truth, and truth is love. God is love in its purest form. Truth is Christ in its purest form. You can never know or experience or understand, confess what love, what God is, until you come to the truth first. We must be changed, emptied of all the lies, and refilled with nothing but the truth. We must die to ourselves, everything we've been taught, everything we've been told and made to believe, and who we thought we were. We have to crucify ourselves and die to ourselves. And then only then will we be revealed the truth, Christ, who and what we are in our purest, truest nature, unaltered form. Spiritually, we must follow Christ. That's the truth. And fulfill the death, crucifixion, and resurrection within ourselves, becoming truth, which is Christ. And then, only then, will you truly know and understand what love is. That is God in its purest form. At that moment, you will now be transformed in the twinkling of an eye. Remember, existence, a new being. You will have a new appearance, emerging from the lies and leaving your original state of your manipulated, easily deceived five senses, existing now in pure truth and love, outside the existence and experience that you have always known. You must become true to yourself. Know thyself, who you truly are, and not the presentation we portray ourselves to be. True to everyone around you, in pure truth, only then will you know love. John 14:20. On that day, what day? The day you just did this we were speaking about. On that day, when you accomplish it, you will realize that I, who is I, Christ, the truth, am in your Father. Who is the Father? Love. That's God. And you are in me, and I am in you. John 17:21-23. That they all may be one, as thou, Father, art in me, I am in thee, that they also be one in us, that the world may believe that thou hast sent me. Believe. What do we believe? Truth, which is Christ, or a lie, which is Antichrist. They cannot be, truth and love cannot be separated. You cannot have one without the other. Once you understand it, the way and the truth, it will lead you to life, a new existence, where you now become one with pure love and truth. Imagine a world that operated in pure love and truth. What would that look like? I can't imagine. Remember in the beginning I told you the Latin word for love? It was amor. Remember the definition? It means death. John 3:16-17. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Love, amor, means death. Love is God. Truth is Christ. They are the same thing. You cannot have one without the other. That so whosoever believeth, believe in who? In him, Christ. You have to believe in truth, the truth, not the lie. All the lies this world has to offer, not the material or the people or the food or the music. Remember, the things we love that we put our hearts so much into, our relationships, our homes, our work, our money, our churches, our religions, all because we say, oh my God, I love that so much. I must have it. And it became something that defined you. We work so hard becoming slaves, spending so much time and money on things to fill us. We put so much into our relationships, our outfits, things we think define us as who and what we are. We spend our entire lives serving them and end up serving ourselves. Exodus 20:3-5. Thou shalt not have no other gods before me. Remember, God is love. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the sea. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. Oh, I bet you literals out there always pictured some little statue, God somewhere, kneeling down, praying in your living room to it. Something like that. No. It's saying all the things you love, that you put your heart, blood, sweat, and tears into. Because, oh my God, I love it. I must have it. All the while our streets are filled with homeless, drugs, murderers, rapes. Well, you know the world we live in. I'm continuing here. For I, the Lord, thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. That what? Hate me. Opposite of love. So look, if you hate God, and God is love, and love is truth, and truth is Christ, and they are the same. You cannot have love without truth, and truth without love. And they are one, and united in you as one. Then you have neither love or truth, and therefore you are not you in your purest true form. Love and truth does not exist in you. So you don't know how to even love yourself. And if you can't get that right, how can you love your neighbor? It is because love, God, and truth, Christ, is not in you. So the greatest commandments you cannot fulfill, which means you do not know God and are incapable of knowing Him or understanding what He truly is in His pure form. What we believe is what we become. If we believe lies that have been taught or told to us, we become those lies. If we believe that things, material things, houses, cars, jewelry, people, relationships, how we present ourselves became a part of our identity, then we are that presentation, which means that you are living a lie. Your very existence is outside yourself. If your existence is outside yourself, then you are not experiencing life. And without life, you are in darkness. You do not live in the light. You have cast yourself into utter darkness and will never experience what it is like to live life in the light. John 8:12. I am the light of the world. Who is the light? Christ, the truth. He who follows me, truth, shall not walk in darkness, but have the light of life. You must wake up and realize the lies you have been taught and made to believe. Know thyself and die to everything else around you. John 17:11. I have given them thy word. His word is spirit, remember? So what did he give them? The spirit. And the world hath hated them because they are not of the world. They're not of that spirit of love and truth. Even as I, Christ, that's the truth, am not of the world. He is the truth. He cannot be part of the lie. He is the opposite of the lie. The world and those that define themselves with all the things the world has to offer, material things, relationships, religions, money. Well, you know what the world has to offer. You know what you believe. You know what your house is. You know where it is and what is in it. You know the truth about yourself. All you need to do now is swallow your pride that holds you back from admitting it to yourself. Accept the truth. Truth is Christ. about yourself. Ever wonder when you heard them say, accept Christ into your life right now, and all you have to do is this, say this prayer? Well, it's more than prayer, my friend. It is accepting the truth, Christ, of who you truly are. Admitting to yourself what no one wants to admit or believe because they are too busy believing the lie, the false light of the world. Love is truth, and truth is love, and you cannot separate them. They are one, and you cannot know either one unless you become one with them, because they are one and in you. You must become love and truth. Exist. Remember the definition? Being, appearing, emerging, leaving what is outside. Nothing exists outside yourself. Luke 17:21. You cannot say, look here or look there. The kingdom of God, what is God? Love and truth. Your pure true form that you were created to be is within you. You will neither see or know, experience, understand, or even comprehend what the kingdom of God is. You will never enter into it if you do not stop believing the lies and looking for it and waiting for it to show up one day. It is not a thing, a person, a place. It is a state of being, an existence, a consciousness, a spiritual transformation, an awareness that happens within yourself, a revelation, a light that will exist in you and you in it. You will now become and exist as pure love and truth. When you hold on to the world and love the things in it, yes, everything, anything you have invested time and money into to obtain it because you say, oh, I love it. Oh, my God, I love it. I must have it. Now you will truly understand Exodus 27. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. You see, love is God and truth is Christ. Love and truth are the same. Love is God. Can you see it? Can you see what you're taking in vain? We throw the word love around, never understanding what love truly is. Love, in its purest, truest form, is God. So let's go back to the beginning. No, not the beginning of this. The true beginning. John 1:1-5. In the beginning was the Word. What is the Word? It is the Spirit of both love and truth. And the Word was with God. The Spirit of love and truth was with God. And the Word, that's the Spirit of love and truth, was God. All things were made by Him, and without Him was not anything made that was made. Everything that exists was made from love, true love, with the purest intentions to give you everything you would ever need in pure truth. In Him was life, love and truth. And the life was the light of men. Love and truth is the light, a pure existence, no longer in the darkness. Your purest, unaltered form you were created to be. That is love, hidden in plain sight from the foundation of the world. If you can understand this, accomplish it, become it, be transformed, then you will understand this. Revelations 21, 1 through 5. Then I saw a new heaven. Where is heaven? We went through that. It's within you, remember? A new earth. Who's the earth? You are, made from the dust of it. Had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. I saw the holy city. That's you. The new Jerusalem. That's the city of peace. That's you with peace and only existing with love and truth. Remember when Christ said, I give you peace, not as the world gives you peace. Remember that? True peace. He's coming with peace. The truth comes with peace. Coming down out of heaven, that's within you, from God, prepared as a bride, beautifully dressed. You're no longer dressed with the lies and things of the world. For her husband, that's love and truth. Prepared to unite as one with love and truth. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, look, God's dwelling place is now among the people. Do you understand? United as one. United as one within. And he will dwell with them, within you, united as one. They will be his people, and God, that's love and truth himself, will be with them, and be their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order, your old existence, and the old way you have always experienced the world of things has passed away. The old you that no longer exists. So nothing will exist now but love and truth in you, a new creature made perfect in his image. That is love. John 1:14 through 18. The Word, that's the Spirit, remember? The Spirit of love and truth, became flesh into you and made his dwelling among us. Where? Among us, within us. We have seen his glory, seen with spiritual eyes, not your literal eyes, the glory of the one and only Son. That's Christ. That is the truth. The truth existing, remember? Appearing, emerging, what is outside, now in you, who came from the Father. That's God. That's love. Full of grace and truth. And what's truth? Christ. That is within and will never be seen with any observance. 2 John 1 through 7. I say this because many deceivers, a deceiver is a liar. Remember the five senses, the literal things of this world we believe that define us, without the Spirit that is love and truth. They are without the understanding of who and what God and Christ truly are in their pure, unaltered form. Who do not acknowledge Christ, that's the truth, as coming in the flesh within you. If you have not come to the truth, Christ, about yourself, done the work, swallowed the pride, living in the world outside yourself, you cannot and are incapable, with no understanding, be able to acknowledge Christ, truth. the opposite of the lies we believe and were made to believe, the presentation of who you have become, have gone out into the world. You see existence in their five senses defined by everything. In the literal world, everything outside themselves. Any such person is the deceiver, a liar, and the Antichrist, the opposite of Christ, truth. Those in the literal world believing all the lies that have become them, their presentation, and is now already in the world. It's been here for a long time, hasn't it? You see, love is God, and truth is Christ. Love is truth, and truth is love. They cannot be separated. You cannot have one without the other. You can never know love and truth. Unable to confess. To confess something is to tell the truth with your mouth. If you are stuck in the literal, the world, and believing all the lies you have been told and taught, everything you have picked up along the way and made to believe were true, until you realize his words are spirit, all of them, until you die to yourself and everything you think you are, everything you think you know, everything you have been taught and told, then, only then will you swallow your pride, the pride of life, and be able to confess Christ, the truth, God, love, with your mouth. Now I know a lot of you are going to have a problem with this, mostly the literals, the religious, and indoctrinated, held captive by their own thoughts and beliefs, and that's okay, because Philippians 2:10 through 11, that the name of Christ, what is he? Truth. Once confessed and understood, and you know his name, every knee should bow of these in heaven. That's within. That's when you realize the truth. And those on earth, you literal takers, living in your five senses, and under the earth, these already passed on. And that every tongue should confess that Christ, the truth within you, is Lord, to the glory of God the Father. That's the glory of love. So love is truth, and truth is love. Some of you may not be able to understand it right now, but you will. And on that day, you will be introduced to the greatest mystery the world has never known, hidden within themselves since the beginning of time, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, forever and always. Love. You must become love. It must become your very existence, who and what you are in your purest form, created in his image. And that is love.